Welcome to Killer Conversations. I'm Steven, and as always, I'm joined by my amazing wife, Sean. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's get started.
So before we start, we have a couple things that we want to talk about. One is we missed you guys last week. We're really sorry about that. Everybody's just been sick. We needed a minute to catch up.
Yeah, we've had sick kids. We've had some technical issues too. Somebody's
Oh my gosh, so
laptop's not
many.
been working.
Yeah,
We've had a lot of complications that have led to us, we had to take the week off. The baby once again had pneumonia, so it's very hard to film a video when a 6-year-old is coughing her head off.
yeah, yeah. Um, but we think we've got that figured out now, and her doctor is amazing, so that's a good thing. Hopefully there won't be sicknesses like that again, but they're kids, they're gross and they touch everything. So, um, oh, two, Steve looks like a new man. Look at him.
Yep, I finally got the conversation. Well, somebody gave me an intervention. It was like, "You're getting a haircut," or, "Well, there's no or, you're just getting one." And here we are.
That was me.
Yeah, it was her.
Guys, look, I'm all about that rough look, that caveman look, but he was at the point of homeless. I think there's a line there, and he crossed it.
Eh, well, now I look like this. I look like my head's too small for my body, but what can I do?
You do, you do. Three. Okay, three. We got this amazing, amazing, amazing package in the mail. From the minute you opened it, the smell was amazing, like amazing. So it's from the Twisted Sober Apothecary. Let's see if the camera will focus on it.
There it
This
is.
is what the soap bars look like. This one is smooth bourbon. I haven't tried this one yet. We also received one that was called Catch a Charge. That is in my shower. I've been using that one. Amazing. Smells amazing. There was also a shampoo bar in it. I can't show you that one either because it's in my shower and that we're not that kind of channel. Um, I'm just not going to take a shower with you guys. Trust me, nobody needs to see all that. Um, so it's in my shower. I've been using it and my hair has never felt so clean ever, ever. But this one, when I tell you it smells like bourbon, like it's a good smell. Good, 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 good smell. I love it. I can't wait to use that one. I'm gonna be using both of them and forcing Steven to as well. And one thing is it doesn't leave that film on your skin, like, after you use it. Like, there are some soaps that you just feel like you're not clean, like it lifts something instead of cleaning you. It doesn't feel like that at all. You feel like your skin is just clean all over. I loved that. And Steven, he has one down there too.
I do. I have the beard oil here that now that my beard does not reach my stomach, I've been using it on, and I will say some of the best beard oil I've ever used before. I've paid a lot of money for beard oils, and none of them have felt and smelt as good as this one right here. Um, I will say that not only does my beard feel better, I have extremely dry skin, so up and under my beard, it's
Yeah.
flakes everywhere. This has been the only thing that's helped out with it. So I would recommend getting the beard oil for any man out there.
Yeah, and his beard oil is the Catch a Charge beard oil. Man, smells good. I will say that I have hit a time in my life that making babies is no longer possible. We're not going to talk about that because I will cry. Uh, but man, smells good. Let's just say that. So now that we have updated you guys on everything, Steven, do you have any idea where we're going today?
Never have any idea where we're going. I'm just going to throw just something random out there. I'm gonna go with Arizona.
No, no, no. So, since you're so wrong,
Usually am.
today we are headed to Wayland, Massachusetts. We haven't spent much. Yeah, you were way off.
I wasn't even
Way off.
close. Usually I'm at least on the same side of the state or, close. Nope.
Nope. We haven't spent much time on the East Coast, so this one feels like a bit of a shift. Wayland is one of those quiet, peaceful towns about 17 miles outside of Boston. The kind of place you picture when you want to escape the noise, the traffic, the constant rush of the city. It's comforting, homey, almost storybook in the way small towns can be. So I can imagine like being from Boston and this is where you would go to relax. Like you just want to get away from all the sirens and the noise and just reflect and have a moment of peace. This is the type of town that you would go to. But as you already know, our trips are never actually comforting. They're never the peaceful breath of fresh air we wish they were. And today is no different. It's just no different. We're diving into the case of Lauren Astley. Lauren was born on April 1st, 1993. She was an only child, but even with divorced parents, she never lacked love or support. She was active, bright, and full of life. She played tennis, she loved to sing, and she carried this bubbly, magnetic energy everywhere she went. And right now, our daughter is in a singing phase. If you have never watched Disney's zombie show, just ask us. We can tell you word for word how it goes down with every song.
And you might hear
So,
her singing it sometime during this video.
yeah, we have, we've watched it a lot. And dad has to play it when we go somewhere in the car too. So, this is very, that's very close to our hearts, makes us even more in tune with this case. But at just 5 feet tall, she somehow managed to fill every room she walked into. And something that stood out about her, even to people who barely knew her, was how deeply she cared about others. She wasn't self centered, not even a little. She was the kind of person who made you feel seen and heard and just like you were a friend to somebody, like you had somebody. Early in high school, Lauren met Nathaniel Fujita. They quickly became that couple, that young, inseparable pair everyone recognized. Nathan was the popular football player, the guy everyone liked and everyone wanted to be. Together, they look like the perfect high school love story. Um, but so we hear about this a lot, that perfect couple in high school, the football player, the star, the outgoing girl.
Well, I mean, almost every one of these that we've talked about where they've been a couple, it's always they're the perfect couple, the perfect, husband and wife
Mm-hmm.
to each other. Not on one of them has it ended well, so
Yeah. No. So to start off, if anything ever happens to us, don't say we were the perfect couple because we are not.
if I ever hear anybody say that, "Oh, you 2 are just the perfect couple," I'm gonna be like, "You guys can be quiet because I know how that ends. Either she dies or more likely, I die." Yeah, well, I know which way this goes.
Yeah. But no, we're definitely not that perfect couple. And, like most teenage relationships, there's had its up and downs. During those times of your life, everything is so dramatic. So, breakups, makeups, dramatic moments that feel like the end of the world when you're 16. Everything is heightened, everything feels permanent, even when it isn't. So I can remember being in high school. Yes, that was a very, very long time ago. But yeah, everything was so intense. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just everything was so, this is forever. Like, you know,
Mhm.
you don't remember being in high school, do you? You're too old.
Must be. I don't know if they had high school back then.
Did you have a girlfriend in high school?
I did
Or
not.
were they all your cousins?
Oh, no, haha. I actually went to high school in a big area. High school for me was mainly football. Like, I've told her this story. I lived about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half away from the school. So during football season, I wouldn't get home till 8, 9 o'clock at night.
So
And
you
I
didn't have time for a girlfriend.
I didn't have time for homework. I don't know how to pass school.
Oh my. Tell us, what position did you play in high school?
Well, I was on the line at like
Why? Steven, you don't look like that big of a guy. Why were you on the line?
I was a little bit bigger then, but we just didn't have a lot of kids. We did.
Steve,
So what?
I've seen your pictures. Don't be
Well, I was
telling these
big then.
people lies.
Well, I was pretty big then. But I was probably like 30-ish pounds more than I am now.
Yeah.
I was chubby. I was a fat guy. Still am, but I was chubby then.
You're not
Now,
now.
no, now I'm just thick. Then I was chubby.
Well, you know, we have daughters. We have teenage daughters. The drama is strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, the drama's strong.
I hear about so much middle school, junior high drama that
Oh my gosh,
I'm good
so
for the rest of my
much.
life.
Yeah. So that's where tonight's story begins. The town, a town that should have been peaceful, with two teenagers who should have had their whole lives ahead of them. Lauren's friends were never, I guess you could say, supportive of the relationship. And that alone raises questions, I believe, because most of the time, when you have these close friendships, they're going to support you. So knowing that her friends didn't support this, they saw something wrong, What were they seeing? What was happening behind the scenes that Lauren wasn't talking about? Sometimes the people closest to us notice the cracks long before we do. And I 100% believe that because, you got on those rose colored glasses and got that white picket fence dream that you, you don't always see the red flags.
Hmm. You want to
Yeah.
hurry into that type of life, or
Yeah.
you think that life is, possible really, really soon. And
Yeah.
you sometimes don't realize that the person you're wanting to start that life with might have some like major problems.
Yes. And I can say too, like coming from a divorced household, leave it to me if you're over here didn't, but I did. I came from a divorced household. And my dad was the primary caregiver, but also um, my grandmother would help watch us a lot because my dad worked as a police officer and a fireman and all those good things. So I think for me growing up, like I've said this before, it was I always wanted one closet. I always wanted to have my stuff in one place where I didn't have to go back and forth. And that sounds stupid when you've had that. And it wasn't because I wasn't loved or taken care of. I had a great childhood, but that's a big thing when you're with divorced parents. So I think that contributes to like that white picket fence dream life, you know? So that's I know for me it always did. Like, I'm gonna get married and have kids and the house and the white picket fence and all my stuff's gonna be in one place, and I got a caveman.
I was about to say I'd never had ambitions of that stuff. I was a dude. I got out of high school. I was like, I'm ready to live.
A nerdy, dorky life.
Whatever time. Hey, when she met me, guys, I was in the gym every single day. She didn't know she was marrying a nerve. I catfished her.
He did. Dude, guys, he catfished me. His, cover picture was a picture of his abs,
That's
and
right.
then
She thought she was getting a jock, captain of the football team. Nope. She got captain of the computer squad.
catfish so bad. Oh my gosh. And you thought you were getting someone who was mentally sane. Sorry.
No, I never thought that.
Okay, then you didn't get catfish then.
No.
Mhm. So by the time senior year rolled around, Lauren was trying to figure out her future. She wanted to be where, she wanted to be where she was going to go and what kind of life she wanted to build. She was in that frame of mind, like planning for her future. And she wasn't sure Nathan fit into that picture anymore. She had plans, real plans. After graduation, she was heading to college in North Carolina, ready for a fresh start. And come on, really, let's be honest. Long distance relationships rarely work, rarely survive. And they're
True.
hard.
That is true. But what year was this again?
2011.
Okay, so yeah, in 2011, yeah, it would still been pretty decently hard to have a long distance relationship. Nowadays, we have so many types of ways to contact
Yeah.
somebody with like video chats and stuff. It's
Mhm.
not the same, getting to physically be near someone is different than a video chat, but at least nowadays you have a little bit better of a chance. But in 2011, I mean, I don't even remember if we might have had FaceTime at that time
Yeah.
if you had an iPhone, but in
I didn't have an
Skype,
iPhone. I don't know.
no, I think we had Skype then, but you had to pay for that, and college kids paying for a video service just seems like a hassle. So
Yeah.
it would have been hard for them.
Yeah. No, definitely. And they're young. You want to be around each other. You want to
Well,
go
young and one
places.
of them's going to college, and what do you do in college? You party,
Yeah.
and just being in a long distance relationship, it would be very easy to step out of that relationship.
Oh, so easy.
There's a lot of temptation when it comes to
Alcohol involved.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be difficult.
I wouldn't say Steven ever partied like that, but
I never went to college. I was too dumb for that.
I have a tattoo from those days.
She does, but that's a story for a different time.
I will tell you that story later. So, on her birthday in April, Lauren finally ended things for good. Both she and Nathan graduated soon after. And like most seniors, they were ready for one last celebration. A huge graduation party was planned, and Lauren couldn't wait. She wanted a night with her friends, dancing, laughing, soaking in that final moment before everyone scattered to colleges and new beginnings. The last big hurrah before adulthood kicked in. And that, I can understand that. I definitely understand that. Because these are the people you have spent, most of the time, spent your whole life in school with. And if you all grew up in the same town, and you just, and now you're fixing to split. and go different ways in life. And it's scary. And you want to have that one last big party, you know? So I definitely get that. But Nathan, he wasn't ready to let her go. He followed her around, refusing to give her space. Lauren was finally moving forward, but he was stuck, clinging to something that was already over. His behavior escalated to the point where he punched a hole or punched a pole. So it was like a big tent, like a party tent. And, um, the poles that hold up the big tent, he punched that, like almost collapsing the tent on everybody.
Sounds like this dude's got some anger issues.
Yeah. So, and it was hard enough that people thought it was going to break and, like it was bad. That was the moment he was asked to leave, finally, after he had basically harassed Lauren the whole night. But this was like the breaking point, and he was asked to leave. And it was clear to everyone there that whatever was going on with Nathan, it wasn't just heartbreak. It was something deeper, something darker, and something Lauren had been trying to distance herself from for months. After the party, things only grew more tense. Lauren was trying to move forward, focusing on college and her friends and that next chapter in her life. But Nathan, he was like, no, 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 girl. He wasn't letting go. He kept reaching out, calling, texting, trying to pull her back into a relationship she had basically outgrown. It's like she matured, but he didn't, which is, I think, a big thing in boys and girls. Girls seem to mature faster.
I think a majority of women do, yes, but
Yeah.
I think it's a person to person basis. I don't think gender can do it because I do think they are some men that mature
No,
very, very
yeah.
quickly, and then there's
Yeah,
some
no.
women that do, but there's also some women that doesn't, and there's a bunch of men that don't. And to say, that's a man talking about other men. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot that doesn't, but I think it's a person to person basis. I think your
Yeah.
situations too
No, I understand that.
also lend into that. Like if you're raised in a certain situation, you might mature quicker than a person that's raised in a different situation.
Oh, agreed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So through all this, Lauren, she stayed polite, but she stayed firm, like she was done. Her friends noticed the shift too. They saw how drained she looked whenever his name came up, how she tried to keep the peace while still protecting her boundaries. It was a delicate balance. So many young people try to walk, wanting to be kind, but also wanting to be free. And I think this happens a lot with relationships, especially younger relationships. Like, you don't want to be mean, but you don't want to be with them either. So,
hmm you don't want to break their heart, but also you don't want to remain in the relationship.
yeah,
And
like
a lot,
a
a
lot
lot
of,
of yeah, like a lot of younger relationships, they last a whole lot longer than they should
hmm
just because one person don't want to break the other person's heart.
yeah, and I think girls do that a lot, like very frequently. Like, they want to, it's like you're taught to be kind, and girls take it to a point where it's like, I don't want to be in this anymore, but I don't know how to get out without being mean or hurting that person.
I think that goes both ways because there's a lot of guys out there that do not like to see a woman cry. Like it's just like, oh, that's no, I don't want to see that. And most men are like, well, if I break up with this girl, she's gonna cry. Guess I'll just have to date her for another 3 months and hopefully she'll break up with me or something like that. The thing is though, the longer you string it out, the worse it's gonna be in the end. Like
You know, yeah.
you're that person's just gonna keep falling and falling and falling for you, or
Mhm.
if you're in it for a long time, it's going to be worse than a short time is.
Yeah, but I think at that age, you don't really
You don't think about that
plan
part.
for the future. Yeah,
No, it's not that you don't plan, you just don't think about that. It's like you're worried about
yeah,
right here, right now. It's like,
right.
okay, that's tomorrow me's problem or next week's me, whatever. Yeah.
That's a good way of
And
looking at it.
it's like, I mean, even at our age now, there's stuff that we know we're supposed to do daily or whatever, and we're like, we'll
Mhm.
do it tomorrow. Like that's just human nature. And
Yeah,
to these kids, they're like you said, girls, they just the way they don't want to do it, and like boys, like I said, they don't want to see the girl cry or whatever. They're like, I'll just push it back, and maybe something will happen, and the other side will get tired and say it's done. It's not normally how it works, though. Normally, it just
right.
makes it worse in the long run.
Yeah. No, I agree. So as summer rolled on, Lauren was busy preparing for college. She had a job, she was saving money, and she was spending as much time as possible with the people she cared about. She was excited, hopeful, and ready for something new. That's got to be so exciting it's like your first taste of freedom. Like you know what I mean? You don't have your parents there telling you exactly what to do every minute of the day and
Yeah, I still remember the first time I moved into my
mhm.
own apartment. Like I felt like I was king of the world. Like no one could tell me what to
Yeah.
do. And you feel that way for a while, then you start paying bills and it's like, oh crap.
Like,
But
this sucks. But
yeah,
she's at college, so it's a little bit more
it's
of a
different because
structured
yeah,
yeah.
she's probably staying in a dorm. She don't have to worry about none of that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you still have teachers, you still have school rules, which in college, if you go to class, you go to class. If you don't, you don't. Uh, but yeah, it's different. Not the same as living on your own because you still
Yeah.
have a roommate, but you don't, like you said, you don't have your parents there. They can't tell
Mm-mm.
you, hey, your curfew is 10 o'clock tonight. You better be at home.
Yeah.
It's you go out and you stay out as long as you want to.
It's
It,
such an exciting time in your life.
yeah.
So, yeah. And, you know, like, I can it's almost like you could feel her excitement and just like you know, like a new chapter. Like, this whole town's gonna be new, this whole place.
Hmm.
She was going to North Carolina, she's from Massachusetts, you know?
Yeah. Big difference.
Yeah. But Nathan was spiraling. His friends later said he wasn't himself. He was withdrawn, moody, and unpredictable. He wasn't handling the breakup well, and instead of accepting it, he seemed to be sinking deeper into frustration and obsession. Um, on July 3rd, Lauren headed to the mall for her shift at the clothing store where she worked. It was supposed to be a normal day, nothing out of the ordinary. She had plans afterward to meet up with family and friends, the kind of casual summer evening, you know, and she was looking forward to it, but she never showed up. As the minutes turned into hours, the uneasy feeling grew heavier. Lauren wasn't someone who just disappeared. She wasn't someone who forgot plans or left people waiting. Her parents knew it. Her friends knew it. Everyone who loved her felt that shift, the moment when concern turns into fear. I think as parents, we know that time when it comes, you know, where you're kind of concerned to now you're scared. There's like your kid misses their curfew and it's 5 minutes late or 10 minutes late, and you're still just at that point, you're still like, I'm going to beat their ass. But after an hour, 2 hours, and no contact, you would be scared to death. Still want to beat their ass, but scared to death. So, and by that night, it was clear that something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Lauren was missing, and the quiet town of Wayland was about to be shaken in a way no one could have imagined. Lauren's father didn't waste a second. The moment he realized she hadn't shown up and wasn't answering her phone, he called the police. And to their credit, the officers jumped into action immediately. This wasn't a wait 24-hour situation. Everyone knew something was off. That same night, they found Lauren's car at the Wayland Town Beach parking lot. So, like the parking lot when you're going to the beach. The windows were rolled down, her purse was still inside, and it didn't look like she had planned to leave it there. It looked like she had planned to come back. Everything was still in the car. Her friends were terrified. They refused to go home. Instead, they camped at the beach, hoping she'd walk out of the darkness and back into the circle of people who loved her. They stayed there all night, watching and waiting and praying. For me, I think at that point, a concern would be that maybe she had went into the water and something had happened.
Yeah, something that, like, current could have took her too far and
Mhm.
she couldn't have got back, or maybe I don't know if there's, like, sharks or anything up there, but maybe something could have got her, or
It's the ocean. There's sharks there.
that probably, I mean, depending on time of year or whatever, it might be
Like,
too cold, or
as a mom, I know my brain would be going insane, like, with all the what ifs.
well, yeah, they'd be a ton of them. Like, it could be a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
also she was there by herself.
Mhm.
I mean, a girl at a beach by herself,
Like, you just don't know. Yeah.
yeah, you don't know.
So, with finding her car there, I mean, that's, of course, where my brain would go.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, the police began the difficult process of questioning her family. Did they know anyone who might want to hurt her? Anyone she was afraid of? Anyone acting strange? These were the questions they asked. Her parents said no, absolutely not. Even with the breakup, they never believed Nathan would harm her. He had been a part of their lives for years. He wasn't a stranger. He wasn't somebody they feared. To them, he was just a teenage boy struggling with heartbreak. Um, and I don't know. I want to say my brain would be like, check him. Just go, you need to check him first. But I don't know if it would, especially if, they had been a part of your life for years and you'd known them forever. You'd be like, would you be like, he's just a kid?
Yeah, it would be hard because, like you said, you would be like, "Oh, we've known this kid for years. He wouldn't do
Mm-hmm.
something like that," which is another theme in most of these
Yeah.
events that we tell us. It's always, "He would never do that. Um, he's too good of a person to do that." But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you would, like, I would think that we would believe, like, "No, he couldn't do that." But also, like you said earlier, he wasn't the same person. His friends were saying he was different, distant from everything.
Mm,
Sometimes heartbreak or events can change a person. And
yeah.
I think, as a father, especially, I would at least tell them, look into him, because that is her ex and it's not been that long since they broke up. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be it wouldn't be odd if something happened in that situation. Yeah, I might think he's a good kid and all that, but still, it's an ex and he did not take the breakup well. He would be prime suspect number 1 to me. If you
I'm
thought
trying to
something
think.
bad happened to her. I mean, if they think someone took her, did something to her, to me, he would be prime suspect. The
Right
problem is with
now,
her being at a beach, it could be something else.
yeah. Right now, with finding the car at the beach
Mhm.
and the police asking me questions, I really don't know if I would even think about him at that time.
Yeah, logically, I probably wouldn't think about him either in that situation,
Yeah.
because you're still expecting her to either, 1, be okay,
Mhm.
or 2, it be something the ocean wise that happened to her.
Yeah.
Because,
An accident or
yeah,
something,
like an
yeah.
accident or something that's happened out there, because you're at a beach by herself. he wasn't there. Don't even know if he knew she was gonna be there.
Mm,
Logically, you would think something accident-wise happened.
yeah. So, as investigators would soon learn, the truth was far more complicated than anyone realized. As the search for Lauren intensified, investigators began retracing her steps from the moment she left work. They spoke with coworkers, friends, anyone who might have seen or heard from her that day. And while everyone was worried, no one had any clear answers. But one thing did stand out. Nathan's name kept coming up. It just kept coming up. Not because anyone suspected him, at least not yet, but because he had been such a big part of Lauren's life.
Mhm.
Naturally, police needed to talk to him. When they reached out, his responses were they were off. His story didn't quite line up. He seemed distant, detached, almost like he had just been rehearsing what he would say and was just repeating it, you know.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, see, that's not a good look if it
no.
sounds like your answers are rehearsed. Because, like you said, when it's rehearsed, it sounds like you went over and over and over. These should be questions that you were not ready for. You shouldn't have a rehearsed answer for. You shouldn't be able to answer just like that. Now, some questions you can,
Yeah.
but there's a lot that you wouldn't be able to just off the top of my head, like, oh, exactly were you at this time, or when was the last time this? Like, you may not know an exact answer to that.
For me, I feel like I would probably be the same way because I'm so awkward. Like, I would probably sound rehearsed too. I would probably sound crazy. Like, I never want to be in an interrogation because they're going to
S-
take my butt to jail.
See, I kind of agree and disagree with you. I know you, and like you said, you're awkward. I think your answers would not seem rehearsed at all. I think they would be panicked and just awkward. I mean, just mainly awkward. I don't feel like they would sound like they were rehearsed in your head. I sorry. I think that they would just be you would just blurt out stuff and it wouldn't make any sense and they'd be like, "Okay, this
No,
woman is
I
panicking."
agree with that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it might make you look guilty because you're just blah, 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 stuff out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's a difference between panicked, rehearsed, and all that. I don't think you would sound like you were rehearsed at all.
I don't know. I play these scenarios in my crazy mixed up brain.
Playing them in your head is completely different than someone taking you to an interrogation room and interrogating you. And I know how you panic just
I'll
talking.
crack. I'll tell you
Yes,
anything you want to know.
exactly. I know that part. But what I'm saying is, you will tell, well, like you said, you'll tell anybody anything. But also, you panic when you're talking to just people like on the phone and stuff.
Y'all
So
think I'm not awkward? I'm very, very awkward.
she's extremely awkward. I don't think you would sound rehearsed at all. You might tell yourself you might sound rehearsed. You won't. I know you too well.
Okay. But I'm just saying that I think that's not always like a sign of guilt.
No, I don't think it's necessarily a sign of guilt, uh, but it does make you seem suspicious.
Suspicious, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So,
I'm getting at.
well,
It
that
doesn't help
alone,
you.
no.
No,
They'll probably if I was to be investigated, they or put in a interrogation room, they would probably pay you to come get me out.
they would. Even if you got arrested, they would be like, "We'll pay you 5,000 in bail money if you come and just get her. She's
Just get
annoying."
her. Please get her. Do you
Yeah.
know how many questions she has? Do you know that she talks nonstop?
Every one question they ask you, you answer or you ask them for
But like,
back.
really? Hmm.
"Well, where were you on June 17th? Huh?"
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yeah. Do you
Because
remember?
I'm menopausal and ADHD. I have no idea.
Mhm.
So, while that alone wasn't proof of anything, it was enough to raise eyebrows. Meanwhile, Lauren's friends and family were growing more desperate by the hour. They were out searching, calling her phone, checking places she liked to go, the beach, the mall, friends' houses, anywhere she might have on, gone on her own. But every lead ended the same way, nowhere. The community of Wayland, usually so calm and quiet, was suddenly filled with fear. Parents kept their kids close, neighbors checked in on each other, and everyone was hoping for good news, but bracing for the worst. And then the next day changed everything. Lauren's body was discovered by a cyclist in a marsh just 5 miles from her home. It was a moment that shattered the hope of her family and friends. And when authorities arrived, they found clear signs that she had been harmed. The scene made it immediately obvious that this was no accident. Her father was the one who had to identify her, and I can't imagine you being that person that would have to
I
go.
wouldn't I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't even want to imagine it. That's just horrible.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine it being you, like, a parent.
Mhm.
Um, it's it's hard to even put into words the kind of strength that I think that would take, the kind of pain no parent should ever have to endure. The moment stayed with him and with the entire community long after the investigation began. As detectives dug deeper, they learned that the breakup had affected Nathan far more than anyone realized. He had been drinking heavily, smoking daily, and withdrawing from the things he that once defined him. Football, friends, routines, none of it seemed to matter to him anymore. His mother was deeply worried. She saw her son slipping into a dark place, and she didn't know how to pull him out. Um, as a mother of boys and girls, but as a son, having a son, I can imagine how scared the mom would have been. You
Yeah, I
know,
mean, you see your son that's, like you said,
struggling.
he
Yeah.
he was I mean, he was before he was struggling, he was in love, a football star, had
Hmm.
ton of friends, and then
Yeah.
goes through the breakup and loses everything. I mean,
Hmm.
completely changes his life. You would be scared, like scared and worried as a parent, like,
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
you would feel bad for your child, and there's nothing like, you can try to help them out, but you can only do so much, and if they don't want your help, there's nothing you can really do.
Yeah. No, and that's the hard part of, like, when they're teenagers, because oftentimes they don't want your help and they're not gonna listen to you.
Yeah,
You know,
they
they know
don't think
everything.
yeah, they think that they're right, and like you said, they know
Mhm.
everything, and, they don't need mommy and daddy to help them with anything unless they get in some serious trouble, then they normally come to you, but in this
Yeah.
situation, he's almost he's already past 18 years old. It's different. There's a teenager, and then there's at the end of being a teenager. He's a guy, probably didn't want to admit that something was wrong.
Yeah,
And instead of
that's a good
getting
point.
help or, asking for help, whatever, he started drinking, started smoking, trying to find ways to get him to either forget. But I'll be honest with you, drinking is it's not really gonna make you forget, it makes you think about a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, drinking is not the way out. It
No.
brings it more.
Yeah, it usually makes the problems worse.
Yeah.
You might forget sometimes and you might feel okay sometimes, but usually it just makes it worse.
Yeah. So, the day before Lauren disappeared, Nathan's mother even went to see Lauren at work. She wasn't angry or confrontational. She was just a worried parent, desperate to help her son in any way she could. She asked Lauren if she would talk to him, just try to ease whatever he was going through. Do I think that was a great idea? No. But do I understand that she probably never thought anything bad would happen? She just was, you know,
She honestly thought she was just trying to be a parent and help out her
yeah.
kids. She probably didn't think her son was capable of this was the thing.
No,
And
I would never
yeah,
think that of one of my kids ever.
yeah, most parents wouldn't. I mean, they might be a few out there that might, but as a parent, I would never think that is,
Yeah.
my child's capable of that. And she probably thought that either this will make it to where maybe she'll talk to him and he'll get to feeling better, or maybe they might rekindle it and decide that they want to be with each other. She's probably thinking that this can only bring good for her son.
Yeah.
She
No.
probably had zero, feeling that it would go the way that it seemed like it's going to
Yeah.
go.
No, I agree. I don't think that she had any ill intent at all. She was just
She
trying to
was just
think of
trying to help her
anything that
baby
would
out.
help him. Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to help him out.
So, and Lauren, being who she was, compassionate, thoughtful, always thinking of others, agreed. She didn't want to see Nathan hurting. She didn't want to make things harder for him. Even though she had moved on, she still cared about how he was doing. Um, and that's that part of being kind, you know? So that decision made out of kindness would be a heartbreaking turning point in this case. Lauren left work that evening at 6:45. Security cameras captured her walking out of the mall, talking on her phone. Later, investigators would confirm through call logs that she was speaking with Nathan. She didn't tell anyone she was going to see him, and honestly, that could mean a couple of things. Maybe she didn't plan on being gone long enough, just a quick stop, a short conversation, and then off to the rest of her plans for the night. Or maybe she didn't want anyone to know. Maybe, you know, her friends and stuff were already not supportive of it, and they know what Nathan's been putting her through, so maybe she just was embarrassed and didn't want anybody to know that she was going to talk to him to try to help him out, you know?
Yeah, she could have thought if I tell them, they're just gonna give me a lot of crap about it, so I'm
Yeah.
just not gonna tell them.
"Why are you still talking to him?"
Yeah,
Like, "Stop it."
or like
Which is good intentioned.
yeah, it's good intention, or like, the other thing you were saying, maybe she just thought this is just be like a quick
Yeah.
little talk and it was no big deal, or maybe she thought it was just no one else's business and she just was gonna talk to him.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Any of that. But, any one of these, any of this would make sense for a teenager trying to
Mhm.
keep the peace. At 7:05, Lauren sent Nathan a simple text. All it said was, "Here." She had just pulled up to his house, and that message would later confirm that this was the last place she had been. By July 4th, police were ready to question Nathan, but when they went to his house, he wasn't there. His parents had no idea where he was, and while we can't know exactly what was going through his mind, it's hard not to think he realized investigators were getting close. That night, police executed a search warrant for the Fujita home. What they found inside painted a clear and horrific picture. In the garage, they discovered bungee cords matching the type found at the scene. There were bloodstains on the floor and on the door handle. Inside the house, more stains were found on the kitchen floor, the kitchen sink, and the bathroom sink. A gym bag contained muddy shoes, and in the crawl space above Nathan's room, investigators found shoes with blood on them and wet clothing hidden away. Um, This is where I get a little bit angry because you're telling me all that was there. His parents lived there and they didn't see any of that?
There's no way they didn't see it. You said they found blood in the garage.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm a dad. I may not go out to my garage every single day, but I go out there at least every other day, even if it's just to get in the car or get a tool to tighten something
Yeah.
up. You're gonna notice. I mean, there's no way you could.
And there was blood stains inside the house,
Yeah, it went to the
in the
house. It was
kitchen
in the
floor, in the
kitchen.
kitchen sink, and the
Yeah,
bathroom.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. Like you can't. There's no way they did not know. It was
Yeah.
their son. They were trying to cover for him, pretend like nothing happened, which before they found the body, they probably didn't think nothing of it. They're just like, okay,
I don't know, that would still be weird to me. I'd be like, if it was me, I'd be like, "Girls,
what is
what
this?
happened here?"
Yeah. I mean, it being a son, like you could probably think of something to get out of it. Oh, I hit a dog or something on my way home and tried to save it and couldn't. Or, something, hit a deer, whatever. You could come up with an excuse and be like, oh, okay, sure. But
Yeah.
as soon as you find out that this girl is missing, which was like the next morning or that night, whichever one it was, I don't know when those parents found out. But as soon as
And
you heard it, you'd be like,
yeah, and then you put it with the fact that his mom had asked her to come talk to him, so she probably knew she was coming to talk to him. And then there's blood everywhere.
true,
You don't
true. But as a parent, if your child lied to you and told you something else, you might believe them. Like I said, for a second till
now
you found out that
this parent's gonna be like, "Oh,
I wouldn't either. Because if they told me that it came from something else, I'd be like, it's an awful lot of blood for a little, tiny dog. Or you said you hit a dog or a
but
deer. Where's the car
but
damage?
at the same time, even though you don't believe them, would you turn them in?"
If I thought they murdered an innocent person, yeah,
Mhm.
I'd turn them in. I would tell them that you
You
need
are
to go
not a
turn yourself.
ride or die parent.
If my child murdered an innocent person, yes, I would turn them in because at that point, that child needs like they royally messed up. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
took a life that they
Definitely.
shouldn't. They were in the wrong. I would tell that child that, come on, you're going to get in the car and you're going to go turn yourself in. I wouldn't have to
Yeah,
turn them in.
agreed.
They would. They would. Like you took an innocent. Like it's different if, like, say when my daughters came up to me and a guy tried to hurt them or do something very bad to them and they ended up killing them. That's different. They were defending themselves.
You know, I wanna say that I would say that, um, I would be the one that would, like, help you hide a body, but after, I believe it was the Gabby Petito case where Brian Laundrie's mom wrote him the
Hmm.
letter about how she would help him hide a body and how she covered for him for so much, I was absolutely disgusted.
Think the circumstance
Absolutely disgusted.
I think the circumstance around what they done would, like, determine it. Because like, if they took an innocent person's life,
No.
I couldn't I would have to turn them in. But,
Yeah.
like, if I thought that they had a reason to do this, but like I said, if they were hurting one of them or trying
Mhm.
to do worse to them, yeah, I would be like I would take the blame for them at that point.
Would you turn them in and have the police come get them, or would you take them to the police department and be like,
Well,
"We're here"?
I would take them. I would tell them that you're gonna get in the car and we're gonna go down there,
Yeah,
and you're gonna turn
I
yourself
would
in.
too. I think that's the way I would do it, like, you messed up. This was so wrong.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stand by you through it, I'm gonna be here, but you were wrong,
Yeah,
and
and
you've
if
got to face the consequences.
yep, I'd give them that option to go, and if they decided to run after I told them that, I would just call the cops and tell them, be like, "He's running. He's going that way. I
Yeah.
tried. There ain't nothing else I can do."
So and you know what? Let us know in the comments below, like, how you would handle it, what you would do.
Yeah.
That's a good one. 'Cause I
Mhm.
think that there are those people out there that's like, "No, I'm ride or die. Look, I'll help you hide the body."
Yeah, I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on that,
Yeah.
what they would do.
So, piece by piece, of course, the evidence told the story. One that no one wanted to believe, but one that could not, no longer be ignored. With the evidence piling up, investigators knew they needed to find Nathan, and fast. His disappearance only made their suspicions grow stronger. When someone becomes the last known person to see a missing girl and then suddenly they can't be located, it sends up every red flag imaginable. I need my red flag guy here.
Yeah,
Because,
you're
yeah,
you're 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 just submitting to guilt at that
yeah,
point. Like, why run if it wasn't you?
100%, yeah. The morning after the search warrant was executed, police finally tracked him down. He was found at his cousin's house, quiet, withdrawn, and showing little reaction to the news that Lauren had been found. Officers noted that he had scratches on his body and injuries on his hands, but he offered no real explanation for that. So, you know, when you don't even have an explanation of why there's,
Scratches all over you.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not a good sign. Like, most people would even come up with, like, a lie or something, but if you
yeah,
can't even come up with a lie on, like, why you're scratched up or bruised or whatever, it's doesn't look good, especially when you're the prime suspect in a murder investigation.
right. So Nathan was arrested and brought in for questioning, but he offered very little clarity. His explanations were inconsistent, shifting from denial to confusion to claims that he couldn't remember what happened. Detectives pressed him, but the more he talked, the more tangled the story became. It was obvious he was struggling, but it was equally obvious that the truth wasn't coming from him voluntarily. As the case moved forward toward trial, prosecutors began assembling a picture of what had led to the tragic night. They highlighted the emotional unraveling Nathan had been experiencing, the drinking, the withdrawal, the loss of interest in football, the growing instability. They emphasized the breakup, the tension, and the final meeting Lauren agreed to out of kindness. The defense, meanwhile, focused on Nathan's mental state. They argued that he had been in a deep psychological crisis, that he wasn't thinking clearly, and that his actions were the result of a sudden break rather than a calculated plan. They painted a portrait of a young man overwhelmed by heartbreak and spiraling emotions. But the prosecution had the evidence. They had the timeline, the physical findings, the hidden clothing, the injuries, the text messages, and the fact that Lauren had gone to his house that night and never left. Nathaniel Fujita was found guilty of first-degree murder. The verdict was clear. The jury rejected the idea that this was an accident or a moment of confusion. They believed the evidence showed intent, preparation, and a series of choices that led to Lauren's death. And with that verdict came a mandatory sentence, life in prison without the possibility of parole. So I know he has been trying to um, appeal, and there's some laws that have went into effect regarding minors in that state since he was sentenced. And he's trying to use that to get out early, not be sentenced to life. But as far as I know, and I checked just this morning, was he's still there. It's being denied.
Mhm.
His appeals are being denied. So, you know, and I believe that's fair. He made these decisions.
Yeah, he made those decisions, and like you said, those laws have came out afterwards.
I do believe that the laws that came out afterwards.
Yeah, he was tried before those laws came out, then he should be stuck with whatever sentence he got. and he took a girl's life, and
Yeah.
it sounds like the defense was trying to prove that it wasn't a first degree murder, that it was like
Mhm.
accidental.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
think it was ever there was no objection that, yeah, I mean, he killed her.
yeah, they were just trying to make it to where he
So,
didn't get life is what
yeah.
they were doing. And it seems like they're still trying to do that, which in all honesty is normal for most people that go to prison. Like a lot of them will continuously try to appeal it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's first degree in my
Yeah,
opinion.
me too.
Life is what he should get. Um,
Yeah. So this case is it's a heartbreaking reminder of how complicated young relationships can be and how quickly emotional struggles can escalate when they go unaddressed. It's also a reminder of the importance of listening to the people around us, the friends who notice the red flags, the parents who sense something is wrong, the communities that come together when tragedy strikes. So basically, if you have a best friend that you've had for life and they are always on your side and they have always had your back, because I know you may not listen to parents, I get it. If they're seeing those red flags, listen. They're there. They're there. You've got your blinders on, girl. They're there, you know.
yeah,
And men too, boys too.
yeah, asking for help is not a bad thing, and listen to other people's advice is not a bad thing. Like
No,
you
not at
said,
all.
a lot of kids don't want to, ask their parents. I think asking your parents is fine if that's all you've got, but friends, if
Yeah,
you have 4 friends that are telling you the exact same thing or noticing the exact same thing, and you're not, they're probably right. Like, you have
100% I believe
multiple
that.
people
Yeah.
noticing the same thing, something's wrong. But it's not a negative, it's not a bad thing to ask them for help or to ask
No,
somebody for help.
no, not at all.
Sometimes you need to talk to somebody. Now, will it solve all your problems? Would it keep situations like this from happening? I can't
No.
say yes or no either way. There's a chance that he could have talked to somebody. He could have learned to have gotten over her, might have met
Yeah.
someone else and been completely fine. Don't know. Like, we can't play in what if situations when it comes to stuff like this.
I guess I question, like, do they if you're a killer and you're gonna kill over something like that, do you just have that in you to kill?
I don't think you do, but when you bring in stress, depression changes you a lot. Then
Mhm.
you're adding alcohol on top of it. Who knows if he was taking anything else? Like, you're adding a lot of stuff on top of
I
you.
believe there was drugs involved as well.
It's a possibility, but like you're adding a lot of things. Like alcohol can change your mind. If there is drugs can change you into a completely different person.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're adding stress, heartache, and depression on top of it. You
Mhm.
may not have had that in you to begin with, but it could change you. And it sounds like he had anger issues to
Yeah.
begin with. It, it's a possibility that he's always had that in him, but then there's a possibility that all the factors changed him to where he had that in him.
Yeah.
I can't
So,
say for sure. Didn't know the guy, so
yeah. So Lauren's family has worked tirelessly to honor her memory, focusing on promoting healthy relationships and emotional awareness among teens. Their strength, even in unimaginable grief, continues to inspire others. And I think that's a big thing. Like they're working to make a legacy, even though she's not here. Um, and healthy relationships are so important in teenagers.
yeah, I agree with that, and I like hearing that they're keeping her memory alive by the stuff that
Helping.
they're yeah, by helping. Um, I think grief counseling is something that anybody that loses someone kinda needs to a
Yeah.
point. Um, a lot of people don't handle grief in the right,
No.
way, and, I think her parents using her story to help with things like, we go over each one of these cases as not only a way to just have something to talk about, but we do it as, like, a message to try to keep these people's lives and all
Yeah.
yeah, their
Memory.
legacy, like
Honor their memories.
yeah, we're trying to honor their memory, and I think that's good that the parents are doing that, and I think you should do that so situations like this may not ever happen again. Because it would be great if these situations never happened, but,
That's not the reality of life.
yeah, that's not the reality of life, but keeping her memory alive, spreading the word, helping as many people as you can. You may not be able to help everybody, but if you even touch one person and say it helps that one person,
Yeah.
you could have saved a life there. Not just that person that you know, have helped, but anyone that they might have hurt in the future or anything like that. So I do
Yeah.
like knowing that they're trying to keep her memory alive, which I think most parents would do.
Yeah. So this was the case of Lauren Astley. Please let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, don't forget to go visit the Twisted Sober Apothecary because it's amazing. Oh, Steve's got his beard oil. Trust me,
Yeah.
it smells good. Women, get it for your men. It smells good. So good. And we hope you enjoyed today's video.
Yep. Like she said, don't forgive us a like, a share, and subscribe to her channel if you're not. And we'll see you on the next one.